Yesterday, the University of Ottawa Refugee Hub visited Sault Ste. Marie to deliver an information session about the renewal of its successful refugee sponsorship program called the Blended Visa Office Referred Program. Under this program, the UNHCR identifies refugees to come to Canada, and the Canadian government and sponsor groups share settlement costs. All refugees sponsored to Canada undergo rigorous security, legal, and health checks. Back in 2018, the fund supported 150 groups in 49 Canadian communities who together sponsored over 650 refugees. Currently, there are over 1,000 spaces yet to be matched for arrival in 2019. On TV dropped by the information session.
The Bevo program, I think we have a bit of a mix.
Yeah, so I'm at the Civic Centre in Sault Ste. Marie, and I came here to talk to local sponsors, the local immigration partnership and the settlement sector here, as well as city members, to talk about our Bevo fund, which is a fund that covers the cost of settlement for sponsors who want to settle refugees into Sault Ste. Marie. And there was quite a lot of interest, and hopefully we'll see some sponsorship groups here in the Sault. Tomorrow I'm off to Thunder Bay on the world's smallest plane, and I'll be in PEI after that. But also people from our program have travelled out to the Maritimes, from Antigonish to Cape Breton to Halifax and St. John's. We're also out at the moment in BC, in the Okanagan. We'll be going to Victoria. We've been to Saskatoon and Winnipeg. So we're really trying to reach every single province. Our goal this year is to have sponsorship in every province. So we're working on it. We'd like to see New Brunswick and PEI come to the table. And we think sponsorship could really be a great step for those provinces. And then we have other provinces like Ontario and Nova Scotia, who are really leading the charge and showing that there's a lot of capacity and will to do sponsorship. Yeah, well, there's a lot of communities in Canada who have issues with retaining populations and keeping people engaged, and we're seeing that bringing families into your community, especially families who are being resettled, have a really positive impact on your local economy, on the schools, and on your community. And especially private sponsorship, it's this wonderful kind of community building practice where you can get people together in your community from all walks of life, whether it's through your church or whether it's through your workplace, your school, and bringing people together to provide what we call the Canadian hug, that kind of first welcome, participation in a family or an individual's move to your community has enormous benefits for both the newcomers but also your local community and seeing it thrive. The face of sponsorship in Canada is really changing. Traditionally, I think a lot of people are aware that in the 70s, church groups across Canada came together to form sponsorship groups for boat people who are fleeing Vietnam and East Asia. And since then, we've seen a lot of new styles of sponsorship, whether it's local neighborhood groups who are getting together, whether it's employees at a workplace, whether it's a sports group, whether it's a diaspora group, whether it's people who've been sponsored themselves who are now sponsoring other people because they